and said, and tonight is a little different. We've been friends a long time, and I admire you, but you know what? Shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
I
pain
might, I
prior.
might answer that call.
This is
Yeah,
pain
you gonna
prior to
answer.
being married, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Yeah,
not a
yes, thank
married
you.
thing.
This is
Disclaimer. Disclaimer.
yeah, it is a disclaimer. I mean, it's all prior to marriage. So, you listen, we got Sir Fur up here, man. He's been knocking and he's been lining them up and knocking them down. That's why he
He
don't
the
want to
young
come on
single
camera.
buck out there.
Yeah.
No, I just
Why
think
we
that
why
when
we gotta
people
do
have
that? Why we gotta do that? First of all, shout out to the panel, man. Shout out to all of y'all. I didn't want to be eating on camera, so I'm just give me a second. But you a wild one for that, RP. Coach Ferg, I heard you too, man. What's up, 3 a.m. and Sean,
what's
man?
going on?
You
What's
be
going
eating
on?
late,
How
bro.
y'all doing? I know, man.
What's
I
going
had to go get some food, man. So I was like, dang. All right.
I had a video. Maybe we'll show it next week. And I'm sorry. Good to see you, Frank. I'm glad you're here. I had a video where they asked the girl this whole "can men and women be friends" thing. So I'm not going to spoil it. I'll wait for next week. So we'll continue that.
That could be a whole show. I mean, we had a whole bunch of that common question on the internet, went like a wildfire through it, but it's a good conversation. You can make a real conversation out of it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. Like, I think people who can't be friends with women, they don't have any discipline. Like, if you look at a woman and you look at her just as a sex object and not, because you can have friends that like can really be there for you, um, you know, when you have family that don't be there for you, but like you have people that you met off the internet that do more for you,
Mm.
like that tells you a whole lot, you know. And um, as you get older, like you really respect the friends that you have around you because it's hard, as you get older, it's harder and harder to meet people that's going to meet you at the same level that you are at. Like, you know, and a lot of times you don't even have to ask people to do stuff, they will just do it for you. And some of these people, they don't even, they're not even looking to get it back. They're just like, hey, look, you're in need, I have it, and here you go. So I just want to put that out there.
No, because you're right. I think you're absolutely right, but that still doesn't negate the fact that a man could have a fleeting thought about a woman who they consider friends. You don't
Hmm.
have to act on all your thoughts,
Right.
and those thoughts don't have to be in your head all the time. But
Hmm.
let's not fool around. Men don't choose to just hang around with chicks for just because they want to be buddies. That's not how we're wired. Right?
Mm-mm.
That doesn't say we can't have business partners that's women or
Hmm.
friends on all that kind of stuff, or even confidants.
Right.
Now, so I just look at it different. Women could have a whole line of random male orbiters around her, but men don't have a lot of random women. I mean, they could be around random women, but if they tell me that they don't have any sexual interest in any of them, then I'm looking at you a little crooked. And that doesn't mean that you have to act on it. That's the problem. I can't stand when people try to tell men that we have to be asexual when we see a woman. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah,
We are
that's true.
sexual beings. The question is, can you control your animal behavior? And I think that's a higher level of a guy than trying to come out and denying that you have it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. That's how I look at it. And so I'm not a savage. And there's been plenty of women I work with. When I was on a job, I had a high management job. Women used to come in my office all the time. I used to keep the door open, not because because Me Too is a big deal.
Hmm.
But I didn't, I don't have any complaints in HR that, I said something inappropriate. And this was all before I met. Now I didn't
Mm-hmm.
handle myself around women. But make no mistake, just being honest, when you left the room, I said, man, shit, man.
I mean,
And just leave it there. And just leave it there. I don't have to dwell on it.
Well,
That's it.
I won't say that that's all men. I happen to be a sapiosexual.
Here we go. Oh, what?
No, seriously.
What is that?
That's somebody who's attracted to the mind.
To the mind, right?
That's what stimulates.
Okay.
And
So that's not stimulating?
Yeah, that's what stimulates me. So
There's a lot of men who feed off a woman for that stimulation.
Yeah. So not. I mean, say what you want. I haven't always been. I haven't always trusted a big butt and a smile, because you got to realize.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I mean that's because you got to realize the person who wrote that record was a friend of mine, and so. I'm like, I never trusted a big butt and a smile. So because I don't trust a big butt and a smile, when I see a big butt and a smile, I'm like, that's coming with problems. That might come with an issue. So
with 18 years of child support. 18 years of child support.
That could be the problem. There's a lot of different things because she has so many options that it could be a headache as far as I'm concerned. That's the first thing that I see. Not to say that that's not after I do get in their mind that I start, oh, damn, she got a fat. But the point being,
I don't get nothing more stimulating than a woman who catches your mind. I mean, how are you going to sit down and just leave it there? This thing is fantastic the way she thinks. And it's all plutonic up there.
Oh, Lord,
I don't want to have a melding of the mind that ever gets physical.
Oh, shit.
Well, you got to realize.
There's probably nothing more sexy than a cerebral.
You all in her mind until she turned around and walk away. What are we talking? So she walk away and she built like you like. So Sean.
Yes, sir.
So Sean, what makes you like you see a woman out?
Okay.
So she apparently has to have a certain look for you to even approach it.
Right.
You ain't just approaching anybody. So when you see her from across the room, right, she's aesthetically pleasing to you. And that draws you into her. Now, what comes out of her mouth after that may be a turn, but initially.
Are you asking me or telling me what draws it?
Sort of both, because I'm trying to understand how you are seeing these women.
First off, when I do see them from across the room, part of the mind stimulation is that she's interested in me and we have that eye contact. So that's already stimulating.
Me and Precious have eye contact too, man. But
what do you go after if it's not a big butt and a smile?
Well, first off,
you can't go after her mind at first. You don't know.
At first you got to be attracted to something. I mean, unless you just in the network, right? You in a net, because sometimes, like, if you in a network with somebody, then the things that they say, the way that they move and things like that, person can grow on you. You might not necessarily be attracted to them physically, but they can end up growing on you just by the way that you hear them talk, the things that they say, their mind. But that initial attraction, it got to be something. It can't be, oh man, her mind, I like that purse, look at the boots. It got to be something.
Well, when
you knock them boots right off the bat.
Well, when you like I said, I'm human and I'm a man. So there are things that attract me. Yeah. But what it is that just because I'm attracted don't mean that I'm going to pursue it.
For sure.
And so the attraction could be there. I've seen so many women who've been the most attractive. And just once I started talking with them, it just went downhill. It was like, so that's why I now have designed my approach. I'm looking for something more than just the attraction. Because like I said, I know the guys who wrote Poison. And that line resonated with me. Never trust a big butt and a smile, because I'm also a rapper in that day and age. And
Sean, they wrote that song 40 years ago. You trust a big butt and a smile in your 20s.
You can't tell me you ain't trust a big butt and a smile then.
Well, are y'all listening to me? Because I'm telling you, but you ain't believing.
Don't take it personal, Sean.
No, I'm just saying. I'm telling you. I think I shared this story with y'all before. As a rapper, I was in a relationship and I was the CB or the cock blocker because I honored my relationship. Niggas were looking at me like, yo, what the man? And I dealt with that. So you ask anybody, and I'm literally on tour with a lot of different artists y'all might know. And so they're in our tour bus. And I'm sitting there honoring a relationship. So I was different. So I mean, you say what you want about it, but that's just my reality.
No, that's
So
fine. I mean, that's fine.
and Poison came after that. So once Poison came out, it just coined that saying for me. I was like, oh, I was on to something then, but you know, it kind of just resonated with me. So I was different. I gotta say that.
You could be in control.
I'm not saying that everybody like me.
I can't stand when women think men can't be in control, regardless of how we think. You know, and most men don't take sex from women unless they're allowed to. Most of us are not rapists. That means men are in constant control, man. You know, and we don't get enough credit for that. You know, men are mostly in control of their libido. No matter what we say, we don't go around fouling women. Some do, but not most of us. No, you know, so like, I argue that with anybody, anytime. Look at any statistics.
There was
you say most of us, do you mean men that are in age bracket or
any age bracket? Yeah. Any age bracket. How many? Listen, I hear all the time thinking most men don't assault women.
Oh no, I don't mean like assaulting a woman, but
okay, let me finish my sentence.
Right.
But most of us have sexual thoughts about women and we control it.
For sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be a lot of reasons. It could be circumstantial. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
But like you said, you've had people come into your office, beautiful women come into your office, right? And you have your thoughts. However, if she give you that call, like, Mr. Payne, I want you to put that, like,
but that's not. Yeah, you're right. You're missing my greater point. My greater point is that it's a fallacy to think that men have sexual thoughts and we can't control them.
Yeah,
that's a fallacy to think that we have sexual thoughts by nature.
Right.
Wait, that's not true.
We control them.
No, that's
mostly
not
we
true.
control them regardless of the age, or they'll still be just rampant. In our society, most men don't assault women. We think about sex all the time.
Okay, so the reason why I'm saying that, why I'm calling cap on that, is because you contradict
cap
yourself.
On what?
I'm about to share it. I'm about to explain it. It's cap because you just finished saying, if I had the opportunity.
No.
You ain't controlling nothing.
I'm talking about criminal activity. Opportunity.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you saying you controlling it because the opportunity ain't there.
No, I didn't say that. You said that.
No, you said most men think about it, but they control it. And I'm like, you ain't controlling nothing. No, you're not. When the opportunity there, that's when the control is tested. And you said that you will fail that test.
No, I never said that. As a matter of fact, one of my greatest, I never said I'd fail that test.
You said if it's a late night and
one of my greatest clips on my other network is one of the hardest thing a man ever did was turn down some pie. And I've learned that lesson long time ago.
Hey, that's the hardest thing y'all can do.
Yes.
It is pretty tough. It's pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a top three. It's a top three, and it's a top three.
Up there.
It's hard to turn that thing down.
You know, a woman who's willing and
you done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Miss Mary, spit out my drink.
Men don't turn down the opportunity to get laid unless they have control. You know, so I'm just saying, we sit down here, we can put all kinds of crazy things. Most men do not try to take sex from women unless the women is willing.
Yeah, for sure.
Period. I'll stand on that.
Well, I
anything
agree
that's-
with that. We're not
Right.
talking
Well, that's what I'm
about
talking
assault.
about.
No, but I'm talking about
Well,
controlling
you can't
yourself.
change what I'm talking about. You
Can
talking
I
about
finish?
what you're
No,
talking
no.
about.
You
It's not
said,
accusing me of something.
Pain. You said
Golly.
this wasn't me. You said that if the opportunity came,
That's right.
what
if the
control are you having?
But
So
I
what
didn't say I take it at every
the
opportunity.
control is when the opportunity is there
No,
and you decide not
the
to.
control is when the opportunity is there or not.
No.
Yes.
How
The
do you
control
figure?
is when the opportunity is there. You
How do
can't
you
tell me what I
figure?
mean.
How do you
It's
figure?
control is when the opportunity is there or not.
No, what I'm saying is that's not control. Pain.
There is control.
What's
Most men
control?
control themselves.
If the
Most
opportunity
men
is
control
there,
themselves.
Y'all gotta listen to each other first.
You know, but he's trying to put words in my head. I don't want to listen to somebody telling me what I'm saying.
Who's doing that?
No, you have your opinion. That's fine, but don't tell me what I'm saying.
I think he's going at the point
when
rather
men
than
are
you.
alone with women, some people consider that an opportunity, and it's not.
I think what
That's
he's saying
I think
is,
he's going at the point rather than you.
yeah,
Go ahead, 3 a.m.
so like I think what he's saying is there is control on either side. Like when let's just say, for example, you out at the club and a girl, you holler at her. Like you got the opportunity. Like if she give you the opportunity, are you gonna take it or are you gonna like nah? There is control both ways. There is control when somebody call you at 2 a.m. in the morning, like, hey, can I pull up?
Right.
Like that, you'd be like, nah, I'm straight. That's control either way. Like, so you have to really look at it that way.
Yeah, I do look at it that way. And so, but if a woman gives you an opportunity, do you not create? Then you have to look at what else you got going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at what else you got going on, and then if the opportunity for you is there, but it ain't right, you just turn it down.
Yeah,
because she could be a liability. Like
exactly. Every time you open that door. So, but when you say the word opportunity, that means the woman is willing, and to me, that has a connotation. And what I say is some men turn that down, but that's not what we're talking about. Now, I didn't start out with that, but we could elevate the conversation to that. Okay. But that's one of the reasons why this whole notion of platonic relationships is a whole nother conversation, because a lot of men randomly around women until the opportunity appears.
No, that's true.
Let's go ahead and deny that. There's all kinds of tests for that. And there's a lot of women say, I got a lot of good male friends. And somebody says, well, give one of those guys a call and say, well, tonight's the night, buddy. Let's see what that guy says.
It's gonna be rare that a dude even if he is a good friend, close friend, you have some people that
especially if you're pretty.
Yeah, you have some people that you just been cool with forever that you wouldn't want to mess that relationship up with for nothing. Like you like, yo, yeah, like maybe when I first met this person, when I first met her, like, I thought that we could possibly, but over the years we became so cool that I'm past that. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't want to take a chance of messing the relationship up.
Yeah.
But if it's one of them ones and you just been waiting around and she call you up and be like, hey, listen, more times than not, a lot of dudes will definitely man. I know dudes. I have a girlfriend that waited for at least like 5, 6
I have a girl that came to college with me, 18. I've known her and I still know her. She knows my wife. And now that I'm 68 years old, she could call me all she wants. I ain't gone.
Right.
We're both old and front. But no, even when we were young, I never approached her. She never, but she's a good friend of mine.
Right.
But I'm counting on one hand.
But that's what I was saying earlier.
I don't have 100 women like that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about, as you get older, like you have to really appreciate the people that are around you, because like you will not be able to find these certain kinds of people and these certain kinds of, I met Precious, like I seen her on another podcast. I didn't know she was adopted, but we connected that way. And like we've been, cool ever since. So like really I don't look at people as like I'm really giving back in a way where I couldn't do that before until I met her. And so, like, being on this panel is really helping me really just understand how people think and to really, bridge the gap between, all men aren't the same and all men don't really look at women, in that light.
Yeah.
And also, I have friends that I have had for a long time, and I have never looked at them like I wanted to have sex with them
Yeah.
because, um, you know how it is. Like if you cross that line, all that other stuff that you had really built up to, like all that will really
Yeah, it's
go.
destroyed.
Yeah, it will be destroyed, and you won't have that same bond. So like, it's just my personal opinion. I really keep those friendships where they are in the places that they are.
But
Yeah.
you know what? But let me ask you. But you know what? How many? Maybe not you, but one of the things you take precautions not to be in intimate settings with these people either.
Yeah.
When we're not going over to each other's house and having intimate candlelight dinners.
None of that.
We could be friends, and we ain't hanging out like like we would hang out with buddies.
None
So
of that.
you keep a certain respectable distance,
Yeah.
so you can maintain those friendships too, because settings matter.
Well,
Yeah.
can we also say this? Let's just not go over our heads. Those men who are plotting are manipulators, and they're sitting there,
But Sean, men,
You always
if
taking
you're
it to
no,
the level. We ain't
yeah,
doing it.
wait, y'all want to give this? They're manipulative. They wanted what they wanted, and why are we sitting here trying to act like they're not?
but okay, so Sean, okay, so we'll give you that, right? I agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But all in all, right, a woman has to be attracted to that man.
Agreed.
I don't know if you work in
Agreed.
working in education. I'm around females all the time, right? Now there's Miss Nada Jones, the teacher. She trying to get me to play, but I ain't really feeling that. And but I talk to her cordially. I never talk about how she dressed. That's one thing I never did with the females. I never commented on their dress. I never commented on anything about look. I kept it all platonic. But then there's some ones that like, okay, yeah,
They could get it.
They gonna get it if they call me. And when I get that, and they would call before. Hey, what time you coming through?
You ain't waiting around for her.
But
that's why I said you're not being
But
manipulative.
that's in my 20s, 20s, 25, 35. Now we looking at them different. You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't that important. But if she put it out there and come in your house with the trench coat on with the heels, you asking the man to damn near cut his wrist. Come on, man. What we talking about, Sean? Somebody knock on your door right now, Sean. You be like, I'll be back. You'll be gone for the rest of the show. Come on.
Is Sean capping anyway? Is Sean capping anyway?
Tell me how I'm capping, Frank.
Because how could it be manipulation when that woman knew that you liked her from the jump? You wouldn't even hold on. You wouldn't even be in the friend zone if it was up to you. She put you in the friend zone. Now, if you guys become cool, yeah, we're just cool. We just still haven't taken that opportunity, right? Because it's a lot of dudes that have been there that shoulder to lean on, okay, like y'all got your back, whatever the case may be. And then that woman finally saw whether no matter what she went through, whatever the case may be, or it could have just been like a light bulb that went off and she was like, yo, you really been here for me. You've been somebody I can rely on. You've been somebody I can talk to. You know what? I put you in the friend zone. I'm taking you out. Like, I want to try this because we've been in each other's lives for so long, whatever the case may be. Right now, how did he manipulate her into a relationship? How did she manipulate him into the relationship?
Let me answer that. One, what you just described, where you're being forthright, is not manipulation. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about the people who are sitting there around saying they're a friend, claiming a friend, but are trying and waiting to smash. That's what we're talking about. Okay, I'm not talking about the person that you just described, who you already came to a conclusion. You decided this is not what I want, because men have this mentality, and y'all know this. It could take a month or even a whole year. I still got so I really don't care. Yeah. So the point being is, those are the manipulative people, not every man.
I get that.
Right. So I'm not
I get
saying that
that.
every man.
I was talking about as far as what we were talking about when they say men will wait around. Because most men who just know you, you know what I'm saying? Like they just know you, and they're gonna jump at the opportunity because they know you. You've been around them for a long time. That you already put them in the more times than not. This situation come from a man being put in the friend zone.
Okay.
He
So
he approached that woman.
The woman did
I'm
it.
saying he approached that woman, and then
All
she
right.
probably was like, nah, like even some dudes, how when we used to run a game or try to run a game on a girl, back when we was younger, be like, hey man, I mean, you need a friend though, you need a friend, right? Now we know the opportunity, the real rap was with like, yo, like if we catch her slipping, one night she mad at her boyfriend, yeah, but that woman, when she put you, when you go up to that woman and you approach her and she give you her number, her Instagram, whatever the case may be, and y'all become cool, however it happens, and then later on in life, a couple year or two, she say, you know what, like I want to try some. More times than not, bro, it's because she put you in the friend zone. You didn't have the opportunity anyway. She put you in the friend zone and kept your ass there. That's why it's a lot of dudes there now, still in the friend zone, hoping for one day that she look at him and say, you know what? Hey,
I'm
3
coming
a.m.
through.
3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. Come through. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Hey,
she's
big head.
5
Hey,
o'clock
big head.
in the morning.
Hey, big
a
head.
lot of
Hey, big head.
right. A lot of dudes are still waiting for that.
Well,
They're not manipulating that
what do you
woman.
mean?
She knows this brother is waiting.
Wait.
He bought a Uber Eats a couple of
wait,
times.
Man.
Took a slow kids to practice.
Wipe
Come
their
on, man. What we
tears.
talking
Y'all
about,
sitting
Sean?
there trying to tell me that lineup, it's not a lineup when they do that. When a man does that, that's not manipulative. That's
Some
not
are, son. Yeah, some are.
Yes,
so
I'm
that's
saying.
my point. I'm not saying
But
everybody. I'm saying if you sitting there scheming and waiting for that opportunity, and you're not being genuine or honest about, I'm just want to be a friend, you're lying and you're being
I
manipulative.
just want to be a friend.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
If she agreed that you said you were
you
attracted,
lying,
cool.
you cheated.
You mentioned that, but then you said
Sean, your mic is low.
Your mic went down.
Your mic is low, man.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, because he know he over manipulating.
Yeah, because he know he manipulate.
I'm manipulating the conversation. I'm manipulating the conversation. No, what I'm saying is,
that the woman doesn't know why you're there.
No. I'm assuming. I don't care about what the woman knows. I'm talking about what the man's intentions are. Never mind what the woman is going to allow. You can find a vulnerable time. Wait. It doesn't, because you find vulnerability. Vulnerability can happen and will happen. That don't mean you got to take advantage of it.
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be vulnerability. It could be her choice.
Well, if that's the case, cool.
Well, wait, hold on one, Sean. You're saying a lot, right? You can't take agency from a woman.
I'm taking agency from a man. You're right.
Hold on.
Right. I'm talking about a man who's manipulating.
You wouldn't be a random male orbiter around a woman unless she wants you to be.
No, you wouldn't be unless. Wait.
Yes,
You
the answer is yes.
Wait.
You will
You
not
said
be
that.
able to be in her orbit unless she wants you to be there.
Well, you would not. Wait. This is the problem that I have. You would not be there unless you chose to be there. Whether she allowed you or not, it's your choice. Stop putting it on the woman. You don't gotta be there.
We already established that I want to be in her orbit.
But she said no, and you still there.
No, if she says no, then you're not in her orbit anymore.
Yeah, those guys move on, Sean.
If she says no, you can't even be sniffing the toenails of my nail polish. You're not in her orbit no more.
That's my point.
She's not answering your phone. You're on block. You're on all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Stop it.
Okay, so why if she said no, you still in her orbit? Why are you still trying?
If she says no, you're no longer in her orbit. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, she said no.
She said, I'm not interested in you, but you're still there. Why?
You won't be in her orbit.
You won't be. She won't even be available for you.
I'm asking you. She wants a friendship. You're saying yeah and agreeing to this friendship, but you're still trying to smash. Why is that?
You ain't trying to smash. See, this is the difference. You said
Yeah, this is it. Yo, come on, man.
You said you're all cerebral and all this shit. You're
right.
gotta know you could be in her orbit.
Nah, get back on
but you don't
camera.
have to keep approaching her about it. You don't have to.
But why are you there?
You don't have to
Why are
approach
you
her
there?
at all.
I'm not there.
The whole definition of a random male orbiter is
why
to
are you there, Mel? Why are you there, Mel?
Okay, so you're gonna
She might call.
You
Call me.
yourself, but you don't want to hear
You
it.
need
You want to
someone
make
to
the man
talk
into some
to.
kind of cat. If
That Sean want to talk to you all night on the phone. Get off the damn phone.
She lets you in there. And if you're in there and you say one day I'm playing the long game, so in the meantime,
so you're there manipulating. That's the manipulation I'm talking about.
I'm gonna let her extract all the energy from me that she wants. Because women ain't gonna let you in her orbit unless she's extracting some shit from you, whether it's conversation, whether it's you're mowing her goddamn lawn, you're putting in her light bulbs, you're doing some stupid shit for her, or else you wouldn't be there. Right? Because women don't just have random niggas hanging out. Right? They want something from you.
Why are you there, man?
You're gonna give her everything she wants in the hope that one day she might say, you know what?
So you're a manipulative person.
I punish
How?
All you gotta do is just listen.
Listen, Linda, Sean, I don't know why you keep going to this manipulation thing. Listen, I just want you to know that
you're lining somebody up. If
You're
somebody and you're lying.
I ain't talked to the woman in 2 months, Sean. She called me 3:30 in the morning. I ain't talked to her. She manipulated me. She retold me.
And you're right. That's definitely her manipulating.
Hold up. Okay, then. So there you go. Like, I don't know why you're putting it as like the guy is manipulating because
when he is,
in case when he
Hey, sure, you hate men. You're a misandrist. Sure,
you're a misandrist. Hey, no, but if she's in a relationship, so if she's going through relationships through this time, I'm going through relationships through this time, and we're still cool, but we just don't cross that line.
Right.
And then we're both single, and then she finally says, you know what? I see you. I want you. I manipulated her the whole time.
No. let me explain. And why y'all acting like
Sean is talking about the man who a woman is like, all right, I'm cool with just being friends with you and this and that. But he finds ways to, make it known that he is still interested in more than just a friendship.
Right.
And in that instance, a woman has to make the decision of, I'm not, like Arpain was saying, I'm not going to put myself in this situation because I know every time we hang out, there's these little innuendos and I'm just not comfortable. I'm not feeling you. Like, I just like you as a friend.
Thank you.
And that's not a man being manipulative. That's a man just being a man, right? Like women have to be accountable for what we allow because y'all literally just say,
we just derailed the whole show.
Y'all have a nature. Like men have a nature about them, and women can't be ignorant to that, right? I think that a lot of male and female relationships do flourish when there is no physical contact. Like, when there is no opportunity for you to be in the same vicinity together, especially if you find each other attractive and things of that nature.
Lord
there's an easier to be friends when there's no opportunity to be in the same room together. It's easier to send each other encouraging messages or check in with one another when there is no when there's no opportunity for physical contact, because then you put a woman, especially a pretty woman, in a situation where you may not get the reaction that you think you're going to get because y'all have cultivated just a friendship. And women need that proximity to like you. Like men don't necessarily need that. Y'all can just step on the scene and
you over your house, you take off her shoes and she got
Precious. I hear you, Precious.
Come on, man.
But that ain't true.
We need some experiences with you. We need some proximity with you in order to give you that type of energy with us.
Precious, that sound good to the dude you don't like. That sound real good to the dude you don't like. The dude that's a little, hold up. The dude that's a little chunky.
You like,
the
those
dude
wouldn't be considered your friends.
The dude they got a crooked eye.
The man's mind. Like now you acting as a man because
no.
you're not looking at them as friends.
But Precious, and I'm not saying you, but most women are not even going to allow me to be in their presence if they're not attracted to me in some kind of way. They're not going to do it. They'll talk to me. Initially, if I'm talking to you, a man will more than likely let women know that he's interested. The first time we start running our mouth, we interested, right? Now you put us in the zone you want us to be. So if you put me in the friend zone, let me fall back. But I'll call you every once in a while on your, on your special Fridays. Hey, lovely. Hey, beautiful. But that's it. You might not even respond back, right?
Lovely, bro.
But that goes to what Sean is saying, though. You know, it's like if you're going,
I'm not manipulating, huh?
If you're going to fall back, fall off the earth. Like,
okay.
There's no reason
hold on.
to continue to, you know,
try fall off the earth.
Fall off the earth. So, man,
let's reverse it.
So I shouldn't be your friend. I shouldn't be your friend.
Let's reverse it. Let's reverse it.
Some women don't like. It's either women are nice to you and they, you know, pretty much, hey, you know, I really respect you as a friend and things, this and that. But when you continue to
that's irksome,
or whatever the case may be,
when you
got to put their foot down and be like, "Don't call me no more."
No, you know what you're right.
But Precious, don't call me. Don't call me when you catch a flat. Don't call me when you need your snow shovel.
Yeah, but let's reverse it. No.
We're going to extremes, Precious.
But we friends. We friends.
Man, one time, right, says, "Listen, I ain't interested in you that way."
He gonna fall back.
Right? The guy who's not stupid will agree with you. I hear you. And I won't make this mistake again. And then maybe you don't cut him off completely. But the fact that he likes you doesn't disappear just because you said that. He might not.
And that's why
he might not ever approach you again.
Facts.
But it's still in his head waiting.
Right.
Okay.
If there's a chance for you to change your mind. And he might be real subtle with that whole thing. And that's where his manipulation thing comes in, right? But listen, if you could develop a friendship in the meantime, and some guys could get used to just saying, I like this woman for A, B, C, and D, because I actually get some benefit from her. I actually get some benefit from knowing that woman. Some of us do mature in those areas. However, make no mistake, I could not approach you again after you told me not to, and we could develop a friendship. But that midnight, if you gave me that midnight call, if you gave me that midnight call, and I said, "Holy shit, she's giving me the midnight call." This is just figuratively. Listen, if you're fine, Precious, we can have a whole relationship of me never approaching you again because you put me in my space. And now you're comfortable with me. I'm comfortable with you. We ain't talking. And then we find ourselves in a situation. You're looking all pretty and relaxed. You got your shoes off. Your toes are wiggling in the air and shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I'm looking at you.
Okay.
And you had that one sip of wine. You know, you just in the right spot. You ain't
pucking them lips and shit. I got you.
Backgammon and shit. You know,
that's funny. That's why Precious just said proximity matters. And let me just reverse it. Yeah, and let me just reverse it. We all probably have put a woman in a friend zone, correct?
For sure.
Okay. So now if that woman in your friend zone continues to make passes at you, continues to and then that late night, you just down, you and your girl just had an argument, this, that, and another, and she's like, hey, you want to come over? You know, we could talk about it in person. And you decide to go over there.
It would be you, right?
I'm stressed.
You talking about the girl that's in the friend zone calling? If she in the friend zone, then she calling me. She gonna be in the friend zone. But if you talk about, but it would have to be me calling her.
No, let's just say you going into the details of it. I'm just saying, y'all now
Well,
on the
you gotta have
phone.
the right scenario.
Y'all, I know we don't. You on the phone with the person you put in
I
the
mean,
friend
your
zone.
scenario
They didn't
right
put.
now has
You
to
know
be
you
corrected.
wait. You know you like them. You know they like you, but you said, you know what? I'm not interested in them like that.
Right.
All right, for whatever reason. Now y'all developed a friendship, and then cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, late night when you're sitting there talking to her about how your girl just messed up on you, or whatever the case may be, she's like, "Hey, why don't you come on over? I'll cook you something. I'll blah, 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 blah." And you thinking it's friendly because y'all don't have you ain't interested in her like that.
Nah.
So now,
I'm an adult. I know exactly what the hell she trying to do.
right.
I'm just saying, if I broke up with my girl and she called me, and I call her and I'm telling her about me and my ex going through these problems, and she say, you know what? Why don't you come over here and let me cook for you?
You're right.
I know exactly. I know exactly
right.
why she want me to come over there.
Right.
Somebody
So
knocking
now,
them.
so wait.
That's
Now
what she want me to
watch
come
this.
over.
Now
Women
watch
have a
this.
brain
You're right. So now you decide, you know what she wants. You go ahead because you feel in that kind of way and you engage. But then after you think about getting back with your girl, you're like, damn, I messed up. I shouldn't have did that. I was horny, whatever the case may be. Do you feel like I know we take accountability so we don't feel like they manipulated us. But if she did invite you over, knowing that, yo, he's a man, he might take me up on this. Who do you blame?
Huh?
Myself.
Does she disturb my peace?
Myself. I know it. Myself. I know exactly myself, bro. I know exactly why I went over there. I was like, she called me. She called me on that night. I was even look. I was in my feelings.
I
my
can't
girl
even argue.
left.
We just take accountability. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I blame myself because I went over there and I shouldn't have.
I guess
you just meant
to do the same thing. They need to blame themselves because
I agree.
From the beginning, what it is, if you have already set some type of
but you're right. I agree. But
your relationship, you can't say a man manipulated you.
Right. Wait. You're right. But does it dismiss the fact that does it dismiss the fact that she was trying to be manipulative and trying to take advantage of that vulnerability?
I think she was.
You didn't accept it, but was she trying?
I don't think she was being manipulative. I think she was being an opportunist. She seen the opportunity to slide. I'm saying I think she's seen an opportunity to slide in the door, and that's what she took, and that's what she
What's
acted
the difference?
On.
What's the difference?
I think
semantics. If you opportunists can be manipulative.
I think the manipulation comes in when she's continually trying to get me to come over there, knowing that I have a woman. That's when the manipulation comes. Oh, can you come help me with this? And then I come over there and she got on a short skirt. Oh, can you come help me with this? I come over, she got on them yoga pants that see through. Now you know what you doing because you know that I got you in the friend zone, but every time I come over here, you got on some skimpy shit.
You're right. So you're right. You actually linked to my point. You got
them yams sticking out.
Damn, not the yam.
Why do you need
reaching up high in the cabinets and shit?
Why do you need me over here with you in that little short ass dress for me to help you with this? You don't need to be in that.
You're lending to my point. Which means if a man did the same exact thing, just I got you, babe. I'll take care of that. Oh, I do this, I do that. What's the difference?
But she's asking, right? He's not just calling up saying, "Hey, can I mow your grass today?"
No, they're having casual conversation. No, they're having casual conversation, and he's like, "Yo, I could take care of that," because he want to get over there. He's like, "Yo, okay, I pay for that because she ain't got the money." Oh, yo,
but Sean,
come on.
This is where you get lost. This is where you lose me at.
Right.
Okay.
Right, cool.
We have me and her having casual conversation, right? She says this. I say, okay, you know what? I can come mow your grass. Guess what she gonna do? I'm gonna be mowing that damn grass, and she gonna be looking out that window like, this sucker that came over here and mowed this grass again. Because you know why? Because she don't have the intentions of doing anything with me. Right. Now, if I have a woman in the friend zone if I have a woman in the friend zone and she really wants me, and even if she doesn't say anything, if she does subtle things like call me over there for little shit that she really could have done herself, right? Oh, it's a spider. I don't know where it went. And then I come right now. I'm you know what? Here I come. I'm on my way. Now I get over there and you got on these tight ass pants, or these, like, why you ain't in those sweats? Why
So
you
then
ain't
it's
in
your
the
fault. So then it's your fault for going over
misdemeanor
there.
outfit?
You know she didn't need you to kill a spider.
It's just
You know
not
she
the
didn't
same.
need you to kill a spider.
It would have to be
she didn't need you to kill a spider.
But
You didn't have to go over there.
Sean, it would have to be the person who has the person in the friend zone, mainly the one who's doing the manipulation. Now, if it's not a person who's in the friend zone or a friend zone type of situation where you just meet a girl, she say, I don't want to do nothing. Most men are not going to stick around for that opportunity. But if they do, and then they end up becoming friends, it just is what it is.
That's right.
Or if he has a chance, it just is what it is. But more times than not, you still don't. Even if she walked by and I say, "Oh, damn, you looking good in that dress today," she gonna be like, "Oh, thanks." Because she don't look at me like that. Yeah, she don't look at me like that. Now, some women will actually play into it. Right? You'll be like, hey, damn, you looking good in that dress. Oh, yeah, look at the little 360. You see it? I'm looking good. Because she's trying to make sure you stay around so she can get what she can get out of you, just like a dude would do for a woman in the friend zone. It would be the same thing.
I agree.
Every time she come over, I got on gray sweats.
Yo,
why?
Because I want you.
So you go. Oh, what's up, though, Mr. Heesa?
Yes, Mr. Heesa, it's been a while. It's good to see you on the
Yo, what's going on? What up, sis? What's good? Good to see you. All thing was good. Shano, what's popping, man?
All right.
Sir, what's good? Coach Ferg, hope all is well, man. Good to see all
of you. How you doing, man? Salute.
Sis, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing well, thank you. I hope you and the missus and the children are doing well. I'm glad to see you. Thanks so much for hopping up on the panel.
No problem. No
Been
problem.
Y'all waiting over there.
Y'all doing great. Y'all doing great. I'm enjoying this.
These guys get by.
We had a whole different show.
I
don't know about that analogy Shano just did, though, but other than that,
there you go.
Oh man.
All right, we're going further this along. Okay, we got two more videos. The grand finale is my mother has been stealing from me for years. Before we do that, though, we're gonna get into this video here. I saw this on So Shameless Pod. I followed him for a while. I've gone to some of his events in New York, and there's a debate on his channel about parenting and if the mother should pretty much make the father feel comfortable with co-parenting. So we're gonna go over this one.
Get your son. You can take your son out to dinner. You can
So you want me to
You
just
don't need
show...
to. Your son has his own phone. At this point in life, you need to be creating a space for you and your son. He needs to see his father.
You keep using the word what I need to do. I'm not your child. He is. If you want me to work with you, what you're going to have to do in this conversation, or what I'm going to ask that you do in this conversation, is to remove that from it.
Hang up on you.
If I ever had to sit across from a man to tell you how you need to show up for the betterment of my baby, I might go upside your head.
That's a problem. At the end of the day, y'all should both think about the most important situation here, which is the son. Yes, you do have a little bit more insight into how the dad can have a more intimate relationship. You can actually help foster that.
So she has to plan your relationship with
Yes,
yourself.
because you share something in common, and that is the son. Why are we combative?
I have to come to you and tell you to step up and to step in. You get that energy because you are my op.
We're forgetting the goal here. You are not the ops. You are not my enemy. In fact, it is the very opposite of that. You are somebody that we have an important relationship to work together.
But it's like nobody that don't know me would ever play with me like that. But you would violate me. You would treat me a certain type of way. You would disappoint me. You would disappoint our kid, and you still want me to come to you with grace? I never met Grace. I don't know that. I'm going to treat you like the op that you deserve to be treated as because you didn't have enough consideration for me as the mother of your child to not be a dickhead.
I don't really know where you defend men that aren't there for their children. And
You don't.
For me, I've had this experience in my own personal life, and my emotional response is never going to be a good excuse for times where I should have done better. Never. The kid suffered because I had a bad response to this experience. At some point, we got to figure out a way to be better. Because we would never be able to excuse that if it was the mother.
Child, you get called a bad mother for less.
Born in the 80s, crack babies.
Oh my goodness. You're trying to trigger me right now.
Hold on. Hold on.
So is it the mother's job to make the father comfortable co-parenting with her for their child or their children?
Well, the problem I have is when people have children, the women always say my child. Like it's a piece of property. Like it's your car. No, you guys have a child together. You know, yeah, he has to step up. Like, but don't, when you say my child, it's like you're leaving the father out of all like decisions. Like you are saying, you know, I have seen where some women will be like, well, my child ain't going over there with your family. But like, how is, like, if a man has other children, how is that child going to get to know their other sibling? You know, how are they going? I mean, you know, like we adopted. Like how, like if you got other siblings and you know them, but like let's just say, for example, like if you knew that you had siblings at a young age and your adopted parents wouldn't let you go see them, how you would feel a certain kind of way. This is the same thing. The man feels a certain kind of way because the way that she is projecting, the way that she is actually speaking, talking about he is the ops, like, like we're in a gang. Like what
like how old are we?
Yeah, like
40.
It's so much here. I could talk for like an hour and a half, but I digress.
What is the most important? Who's the most important piece in that whole dynamic?
The child.
The kid.
That's what they say. That ain't what they do.
Right.
That's what they say. Oh, my baby, my baby. Your baby overweight and can't read. You got him all the time. You keeping him away from me. But this is where I think and sometimes women don't really understand it right. A father can take a heavy burden off of a woman raising a boy. Oh, if he's allowed access to it. I was a shitty boyfriend. I ain't no good. I cheated on, but I got my son. He looked like me. He wants to play football. I'm playing football. Let me teach him how to play football. Let me teach him how to play basketball. But some women get so selfish because I carried this slow baby for 9 months. But the father, again, and I'll say this and I shut up. Most of y'all look like y'all fathers and we act like our mothers. Well, not us, but that's how we move in the world. That's how men are moving, acting like the mama, looking like the daddy. And a lot of time our genius don't get to come out because we missing a whole nother piece of us. That's the worst thing a woman can do to a modern boy is deny him access to his father. The one person by default who's going to, because most fathers, we got a son, we got a little, and we know it's all, we done took the DNA. We want our children at least to grow up and be not saying everybody, but majority, even with the outcomes that they've studied, when a father's there present, the kid develops so much confidence, so much competence. There's nothing that he wouldn't do to try to please his parents. So, and I guarantee Mrs. Brother C said, if the school called home, guess who can go? He can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what the boy needs to see, that my father will show up for me in good and bad.
Coach Ferg, we homeschool, my nigga.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. but you gonna show up though.
They don't have They don't love their kids, Coach Ferg. I'm gonna let you land, but you know, when I cook, they don't love their kids.
No, they don't. It's money. I can get $400 for this little slow baby. And I say the slow with love though, because kids are very bright. But if they not being paid attention to, because a mother, she'll be in the camera on face all day. She ain't go take them outside and show them the boy, outside boy stuff that boys need. And then they complain about the father, but he lived 3 blocks away. Do like Tina Turner on the movie, What's Love Got to Do with that lady just pulled up and dropped them little slow ass boys. I'll get your ass on over your dad. But it develops a sense of confidence in a boy to know that his father is going to at least have a conversation with him a few times. So,
man, I think it's on the whoever is the main parent to make sure that they try to foster a relationship between that child and the other parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to do the same thing. Like when my daughter was younger, now that my daughter's older, I don't have to do that. But when my daughter was younger, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's 30 minutes before bedtime. Make sure you go call your mom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you just got you just got student of the month this month. Make sure you call your mom. I'm gonna send her the picture of it, and then you go ahead and call her. Y'all get on the phone, y'all talk about it, tell her what you did for this month. Hey, you just me sending her pictures of for my daughter's game and videos for my daughter's game, and then as soon as the game is over, hey, come on, in the car, call your mom, or as soon as we get to the house, and you all cleaned up, call your mom. Like, I think that is that parent's job to do. Now, if you're just sitting there and being like, well, my kid's 7 years old, the mama should be calling, which is true. The mama should be calling, you know what I'm saying? Or the daddy should be calling. But if they not, it don't hurt me to say, hey, call your pops, call your moms. Like, it don't hurt me to say that. Now, if it's a one-way street and the kid always has to reach out to you in order for y'all to talk, then maybe I might start to feel some type of way, and I'll be like, damn, you know what? I'm just gonna see how long it's gonna take for your mama to reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually it's gonna dawn on her to say, damn, like, I ain't spoke to my daughter in a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't get to that point, but sometimes it does. And in order for that person to see, like, damn, I ain't spoke to my, sometimes it's just, hey, I'm not forcing it. If you want a relationship with your child, we have ample amount of time. We got all this technology. You can FaceTime them now. You ain't even got to go to a payphone. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you had to hit them on a pager. You had to go to the payphone. They hit you 911. Now it's very simple. It's easy. You can have an Android and still be able to video chat. You can have, you know what I'm saying, an iPhone. Like, it's so many different Zoom calls, Skype. It's so many different ways to foster that relationship and make sure you're still there for your child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the one thing that pisses me off as someone who has been, doing it, is to hear people be, just dismissive of the other parent, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when things are not right, when things are just hectic, she don't want to take care of the baby because y'all not together, he don't want to take it. I don't give a damn. The most important part is my daughter, and if her happiness, even if we know as the adult, we know what it is, but every time she call her mama, her eyes light up. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, she's going to learn, or that child is going to learn, hey, like, oh, I'm starting to see what my pop saw, or I'm starting to see my mama saw in this person. But that's not that's not for me to put in their head. That's not for me to put in the atmosphere. It's not for me to be like, yo, your mama was a piece of, like, it's just not for me to do that. Right. And I think that sometimes what happens is, when a woman gets to that point that we just seen in that video, it's either she still wants to be with that man and he don't want to be with her, he don't want to take care of the kid because they're not together, because that happens too. You know what I'm saying? Or she sees that man in that child. You don't, oh no, nah, this is my kid. This is my kid. He ain't my kid, ain't gonna, you know that kid got another parent, right? Like at some point in time, and if that man wants to be an active father or that woman wants to be an active mother, and you're the one making sure that relationship is not cultivated, then you're the problem. And that's when somebody gotta call you out on it. And I hope it's somebody close to you. Somebody needs to hurt her feelings, and it has to be somebody close to her, because she's not going to listen to a Arpay. She's not going to listen to a Sean. She's not going to listen to the Real Precious, Mr. He Said, Coach Ferg, or 3 a.m. or Frank. She's not going to listen to us. It got to be somebody who really is close to her and who will say, girl, you're wrong.
She may not listen to them either.
She might not, but it's going to have to come from somebody that she care about.
True, but even when the people who care about the parent or the mom, whoever is who's making these decisions, I always say, like, women will go through something over and over and over again, not learn the lesson until they bump their head, they out to dry, they don't got nobody to help them, they done already, everyone has already tried to give them the advice that they need. And now we're just letting you do your thing. We're letting you, accept the consequences of your actions. Sometimes there is no getting through to a woman who is determined to misunderstanding the position and the protection and everything that comes with a father being a father. Like you said, sir, it's like, yeah, we may know the situation, but at the end of the day, my relationship with you should have no bearing on your relationship with your child at all whatsoever. It's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother chapter. Like there should be no reason why us not being able to get it together, whatever the situation may be, bleeds over to the relationship between a child and a parent. I never understood why women, probably just ignorance and they just weren't raised right, but why they would, or if a man is violent, but other than that, why would you want to keep your child away from their parent? And 3 a.m. we're adopted, so of course we're like, well, why would you want to do that? Because we're separated from our parents. But it's like, why would you want to keep a child away from the person that helped you make that child on this earth? Like, it just makes no sense to me, because of your angriness, because of your ignorance, because of your ego. Like, it's just, that is one thing that truly needs to change. And because of all those things, you can't even see the reason why it's part of your responsibility to facilitate that relationship, because most times women are the custodial parents. Like, your situation, it's becoming more prevalent now, but you don't really hear a lot of men who have custody of their children. It's most times it's the mother. And, for a mother to take on that attitude, it is going to be the worst thing that happens to her child. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why men get to a point where it's just like, I am going to stop trying. I'm not going to call. I'm not going to do those things. And it's not because they don't want to. Most times they don't want to deal with the mother.
Yep. And look, the last thing I'm going to say to finish up is just, I think there are some instances where you have to protect your child. Like, if that other parent's on drugs and all of this, and they're abusive and they're abusing that, like, you're gonna have to do what you have to do to protect that child, right? But if that person is not if that other person doesn't have your child in harm's way, anything like that, they're not neglecting that child, then they should have an opportunity to parent.
But why is she, like, I still go back to, she's saying that he is the ops. Like, are we in a gang war?
Well,
like,
they in New York, so it could just be, Sean knows, like, like the lingo in New York is just different from other places. it's normal. Like just like the lingo in North Carolina is probably different.
Let's come back to that though. Let's come back to that later. But he said, what do you got on this? Let's go around robin, so everybody get in before we break it down.
Just a few things. I appreciate y'all for having me. Of course, I miss you, Precious, and Arpain. Always good to see you. A few things. First thing I'm gonna say, to God be the glory, because won't He do it? Because I haven't seen y'all in a while, and as soon as I pop up on the panel, it's about parenting, and y'all know that's the flag I wave. Like, we are promote conscious parenting, PCP, and to hear her say need, this is what you need. You need to stop using that word. You're gonna stop saying need. No, because when I told you need to turn around and let me hit it from behind, you ain't had no problem with that. You ain't ask why. You ain't say it's subjective. When I told you which wall you want to climb, you said, okay, daddy. When I pay the bill, when I need to pay the bill, when your girlfriends come out and I'll be like, what you want to drink and what you want to drink, and I pay for all of y'all, you don't have no pushback then. So don't you dare tell me what I need to do, especially when my sperm, my seed went inside of you. Oh, I'm going to tell you what you need to eat. I'm going to tell you what's expected for snapback. I'm going to tell you you're going to need to homeschool my kids. That's why I had to interject, Coach Ferg. I need grown from the garden vegetables now. Now I'm a grown up. I need you to homeschool my kids. Again, we have expectations as men, but I don't think y'all ready for that, because y'all ain't ready to BBB. It's called book, bottle, and bath. You read them a book, you give them a nice bath, and you give them their food and get them ready. But y'all ain't ready for that. She said, my child, which is very possessive. No, that's our child. DNA is half mine and half yours. And this is the self-love men gotta have. You gotta tell that bitch, listen, bitch, that's my seed inside of you. And this is something that I actually went through with my child. My son is 30 years old. But what I told him and his mother is, every year he gets older, I speak to you less, because he knows how to speak more. I only need to speak to him. Me and you have a professional relationship now. I don't need to speak to you. And every year he get older and you got him a cell phone and all of that shit, I don't need to speak to her. What's up with you? My mom, I don't give a fuck about what your mom talking about. What's up with you? And now she's on her third husband, and I'm still with the same girl. So, you know, man, every year we talk less. And what I'm doing is it's a child now, but I'm raising an adult. They're gonna be an adult one day. I'm not raising no child. And that's what I see. I see adults who are really children raising children to continue to be children. And that's where the problem is. When you don't raise them to be in the world and meet somebody and coexist in a relationship, whether platonic or professional or romantic, they're gonna fail. They're not always going to be children. And when we don't educate them, we don't nurture them, we don't love them, they grow up to be hateful adults that have toxic relationships. And that's because they have bad parents. So guess where it all starts? With promoting conscious parenting. It's not about you anymore. When that little thing came out of her and came out of you, it stopped being about you. So if you thought more like that, more selfless than selfish, and we are humans and we don't have humility, it's crazy, because that's where it starts. You got to see where you play your part in the situation and then govern yourself accordingly. So that's what I say. Govern yourself accordingly and protect yourself at all times, and you'll be fine.
Woo, bars, PCP. I am not mad at that at all. Salute, Mr. He said. I also want to say to Frank, Pang, I commend y'all for being, all the men on here being good fathers. Let me just salute the fathers, that because there aren't a lot of fathers being saluted. and it lends to everything that we're speaking to, and that's part of that's a big issue. I mean, we can't even try and tackle that today. The selfishness that was just displayed by that lady in her conversation, in her, I gotta also big up to good mothers. I'll say this: my mother made a very difficult choice when my brother and I were 13. She sent us to our father. She had the balls and the ability to do that when she realized it wasn't something that she no longer could do. And I got to commend my father for being willing to embrace that responsibility at the time when she did it, because he didn't have to.
Mhm.
So, to your point, Mr. He said, good parenting is absent. And man, we got to teach better parenting. And it starts by tackling those egos and that pride that is, intercepts smart and intelligent thought processes, communication that is that is pretty productive between you guys as adults, because just because you're of age doesn't make you an adult, and we miss that often. We still got growing to do as at our old ages, from Pain on down to I just had to do that to you, Pain. But no, seriously. Seriously though, we still have growing to do. We all can learn, and when we understand that and allow our pride to be absent of all of those decisions that we're making, and being able to be mature enough to make a decision that might not be what you want, but it's for the benefit of that child, we got to do more of that. So salute to your fathers, and I really appreciate that. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, listen, can you guys hear me? Listen, one of the things that we said early on, and it's funny, early in my marriage, when I had my first kid, my wife, we were talking about something, and she said, my kids, my kid. I corrected her immediately. And I think a lot of men kind of miss it. It sounds subtle, but a lot of women tend to say, my kid, my this. I said, no. Let me stop you right there. It's our kids, right? Our relationship is what keeps them together. So these kids belong to both of us. So let's not use that kind of moniker anymore. And I really can't remember the next time if she ever said it again. We had the conversation. I mean, I wasn't mean or mad. I said, our relationship is the center of our household, and we do well by each other. Our kids will be just fine. But being up here on these panels, as I hate to say, as old as I am, reflection is part of my life now, right? And a lot of times you got to get around a lot of younger folks who's gone through different generations, ages, and I say, well, what have I done right? What have I done wrong? Some of the things I try not to say, regret is not where I'm saying, but reflection is a lot of reflection. I think I could have instilled a little bit more into my kids, but I think they came out pretty good, as far as that. But I didn't realize that sending them to universities is really a trap and a danger. I didn't realize that because I went to university. These are bastions of all kinds of bullshit going on there, and you really can't cover that because they're gone. But that's my only reflection. But also, my job took me away from them for a 10-year stretch. My job took me out of town, maybe around 2 weeks out of a month, for a long time. And so I think back and say, well, you know what did I really miss that I could have caught through serendipity? What they thought about, what they were watching, and that kind of stuff. But, other than that, but after they came out of college, they came back to live with me, So I got a feel to look at them as they were young adults getting into the workforce. And the thing that I was pleased about is they still listen to me. They like what I tell them, because I was covering them. So while they were back home, which I recommend to people, don't kick your kids out until they're ready to be out there. So they came back home, and my youngest daughter just moved out. She's 26, right? I was 41 when I had her. She just moved out. I wish she was getting married, but that's not the case. But she moved out, got her architectural job. Man, I tell you, I still feel some kind of way that she's gone. It's been like 2 weeks. You know, I'm trying to readjust to the fact that my baby is out, you know. But you know, so I reflect. So the thing about the lady and the guy she was talking to, the baby, the father of her kid, they weren't even talking about the same thing. The way she talked to him, he was talking about trying to be a parent, and she was talking about how much she despises him. That's what it sounded like to me, you know, and he couldn't even get past that veil. So now we don't know what transpired between the two of them, but in that forum, he was trying to say, well, what can I do to be a better parent? And even if I need to consult with you and what you think I need to do that I'm not doing, throw me a little rope. And she wasn't even willing to do that.
Yeah, she was more concerned about getting off what she
Yeah.
wanted. She wanted to project whatever feeling she had onto whatever show she was on instead of actually listening to him
Right.
and like saying, like, I really go back to when she was saying, you know, my kid, like that's your
You're the
car
house.
or like that's your
You're the house.
house, you know, like it's, and you hear that a lot, and you know, it's really, it's frustrating because, um, you know, you have another person that's willing to be there, but your ego is not allowing you to actually be a good parent because you're mad because you're not, you know, you're mad because you're not with the guy anymore, or like he might have
For
cheated on
whatever
you,
reason.
or whatever the case may
Right.
be, right? And but you still have another person that is depending on you to, you know, to be a good person in society, and that's really what it's all about. It's not really
Mhm.
about, you know, because you're not with this guy anymore.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, alienating the other parent only is going to make the job of parenting that much worse for you and the child.
Mhm.
So I just, it's just a trend that women need to. It's like if at this point, why'd you have sex with them? Like, why'd you open your legs? Like Mr. He said when he told you to bend it over, you was okay with that. But now you got a problem with allowing the child to go see the person who had you bent over face down. Like, it's like, come on, like the logic just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. And even if you know you guys are not in a romantic relationship anymore, you have to put on your grown woman panties and say, you know, this is not about me. And honestly, unfortunately, when women get young, they don't have, I mean, when women have babies young, they don't have that mature mind, and they go back to the immature little girl who is
Mhm.
kicking and screaming and you know, like that little girl that was hanging off the bunk bed, like, well, I'm telling, like, you know what I mean? It just gets bigger and louder as you get older. And even attitudes like that is where discipline comes in your children young. So when they grow up as grown women, they understand that it takes teamwork to make the dream work. You know,
Mhm.
like it just, that's just, it's not a saying just for nothing. It's the truth. It really is a truth. So even if you're not romantic partners, you know, put that behind you for the kids, so the kids, you know, have both parental units. You know, you don't have to operate as a married couple or, you know, romantic partners in order to parent children. It's not ideal. However, it can happen. It is possible, you know.
Amen.
Absolutely. And take a word. I'm gonna split up that word teamwork. It takes work, and that's unfortunately what a lot of people aren't willing to do is put in that work. You know, so I commend the people who do put in that work. And sometimes that work is strenuous, sometimes that work is difficult, sometimes that work is emotionally draining. But for your child, you should be willing to do it because you brought that child into this world. And so that work, it's gonna take work until we die.
Work.
Absolutely. Go
Like,
ahead, Precious. Sing. No.
okay. All right, so we're gonna get on to this last video of the evening, then we're gonna get up out of here. Worldwide collaboration.
The main event.
You made it. You're here.
I'm,
So,
I'm gonna say, Sean, stop trying to manipulate. Trying to back up Secret Precious. You're trying to manipulate.
What I got to do to get what I want.
All right, so this video I came across, I couldn't believe it, but someone wrote into a podcast, Life After IDO podcast. I've never heard of them before, never came across any of their content, so it was just something that just came across my feed as just new, videos and algorithm. But I saw it and I was like, what? So I want to go through it tonight and give you guys, you guys give your male perspective towards this, because a man has had his mother doing his taxes for the longest time. And then he gets married and the wife is like, I'm gonna take over the taxes now. And the wife discovers something a bit disturbing. Hold on, StreamYard got catch up.
Backstory. My husband, who's 31 and I'm 34, got married this last June. We dated on and off. His mother loved me. We had a great relationship from the start. I should have known it was too good to be true. Well, my hubby had been having his mother do his taxes every year. Not a big deal until he told me what he was getting for a refund. A couple of $100. I knew that he made, and as a single dude, it should have been more, just as a girlfriend, but I knew it wasn't my place. Fast forward to us getting married. Yay! We had a very small wedding and it was perfect. His mother gave us $1,000 as a gift, which was wonderful. As his wife, I am now getting ready to do everything for our taxes so that they could be done. He has some extra stuff, so I'm getting a professional to handle our taxes this year. The professional requested that I bring previous returns in. Okay, I'll contact my mother-in-law to get his. I sent her a text that said, hey, I need copies of his previous year's tax returns. Her response, I'll see what I can do. She uses an at-home program and they should all be right there in the program, but she never sent them.
Never sent them.
I spoke to my husband and I told him to contact the IRS to get it ourselves. With that said, he had a feeling that she was hiding something. During this, I also learned that she had his return direct deposited to her account.
I see where this goes.
She spewed some bullshit reason to him and he believed her because it's his mom.
And the mother's.
And she would transfer the funds to his account. I immediately, in capital letters, knew what we were dealing with, some awful stuff. I asked my husband how much his return was last year, and he tells me it was $600.
$600?
We received his federal refund and it was supposed to be $2,400. He broke down. He was devastated. She gave him $600 and then gave him $1,000 for our wedding. He said that's still not the entire refund and he was supposed to receive the 24. He has me look at other years and yep, same thing. Altogether, it adds up to $10,000. Some years she even told him that he owed.
Wicked.
So that he would give her money.
Damn.
I've never seen this man so broken. He was living paycheck to paycheck and he really needed that money. We're waiting on the state to send us the returns, but I thought that I would have some fun with this first. I sent her another text. Hey, I guess he only needs the state returns. Her response is, well, I'll see what I can do. She calls her husband claiming her computer monitor is broken and she thinks that their son is mad at her because he didn't call her the day before. Now she's starting to panic and it's very clear why. So here's what's going to happen. We're waiting for the state return and old bank statements to show what she transferred to him and he wants to confront her. He wants his money, all of it. I don't blame him. I asked, what if she refuses to repay? He said we will get the authorities involved. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. As it stands, nobody else knows what we know. He wants all the facts to back her into a corner. He knows his relationship.
I mean, the corner is pretty evident.
Is over with her after this takes place.
Gizam.
Equaling to $10,000 USD.
First of all, I ain't having nobody in my family do my taxes. Let me just tell you that right now. I don't care how good you are. Listen, there are certain things that you don't need your family involved in. And one thing is your paper. What you make is your private business. That's just me. Y'all might feel different, but no.
I mean, I agree with you there. Like, how long was mom doing, this grown man's taxes? Like, why is mom? Is she an accountant?
Well, I mean, what
No,
you just described is not being able to trust. And I understand why, with our family members, a lot of times they take us for granted and they're not as trustworthy as they could be. But we're putting trust into somebody else out of our family if we have somebody else doing our taxes. So it's a really touchy scenario. But I was just wondering, was that the little girl as an adult that they were talking about, this mother? That we just saw when she lied earlier today, our first video. Was that little girl and grown? 'Cause this is what happens. That
Grandmama.
mother, that mother is what happens when those little girls like that aren't addressed.
Yeah.
it's kind of funny about the taxes because my oldest daughter started working because I use TurboTax all the time and I got pretty good at it. So I did her first job. I did her taxes, but she was working in the city. It was 2 states, right? So I made a little mistake, cost like $100. So the next year came around, and I said, "Well, you ready to do your taxes?" She said, "Dad, I did it myself." I said, "Because she confronted me about the mistake. She fired my ass so fast. She fired my ass. I said, "Well, you fired?" I said, "You fired me?" She said, "Hey, man, it cost me $100, Pop." You know what I'm saying?
I love her.
Hey,
Liability, pops.
Yes,
your liability, homie.
Accountability.
Self-preservation, first rule of nature.
I said I thought it was pretty funny. I said good because they take care of that kind of stuff on their own. My youngest daughter does her own taxes. Well, I said if it ever gets real complicated, you could always go to somebody, but they do their own taxes. So. But man, she fired me so fast. It was so funny.
Got you up out of there, Payne.
Took you out of the game.
But anyway, but
fast.
on to this thing, how I would deal. I mean, real quick, I don't know how it's easy to say I would be real mad at my mother and all that kind of stuff. I'm one of those kind of guys that says, yeah, money is very important. But I would look at it in this total. What kind of mother was this woman? And what kind of desperation is she in now? Does she have a husband? Well, she lied to him. Yeah. Does she have a husband? Or, did she need that money for something that she wasn't telling me about? I'm not saying this right. I'm not even going to make an excuse, but this is how I would process it. She would never touch my money again. But do I end my relationship with her forever? I certainly am not going to put her in jail for 10 grand. I wouldn't. That's just me.
I agree with that.
Because maybe I'm not rich, but I don't look at money that way. Because for some reason or the other, every dollar I lost or spilled, I don't think the end of the world has come for me yet. Maybe it's down the world. I don't know how I would feel about it. Now I'd be mad at her. I would cut her off on some ways, but do I alienate her for the rest of her life because she ripped me off? Is it something I can't recover from? It depends on how much that $10,000 hurt me. I'm serious. It's just me. Maybe it's real.
But she said that he was living paycheck to paycheck though.
Yeah,
so he needed that money.
I hear you, but he's still around. He still survives. He still found a woman. He got married, and he's not eating out of Campbell's soup cans.
That's crazy.
Go ahead, King.
Everybody could have their own.
You're showing grace.
I'm not saying the book ain't out. I just don't know how I would process it from the mindset that I have right now.
Right. Well, I get it. I go ahead.
I'm done.
I just go back to, like when you turn 18 and you start working, your parents should not be involved in your finances. When you are a grown person, you getting a W-2, you go to H&R Block, you go to Intuit, or you go to a professional that let you do your taxes. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not having my mom do my taxes, my dad do my taxes. Like when you look at the effects of what the taxes are going to be, he could end up facing so many penalties because of the taxes were done incorrectly. You know, like they might have to go back and audit all of the years that she did his taxes. She's not a professional. Like,
Well, she was just taking the money.
yeah,
Yeah,
She
right,
was doing it.
exactly.
She was doing it
Right,
right.
that's
She
the
was just
thing. She
taking
did
the
it
money.
right. She did it right. She was
Yeah.
just putting the money in her pocket.
We assume she's doing it right. We
Yeah,
assume
she was. She
If
was.
she
she's getting the
wasn't, then
money.
it would have been other
She was.
issues that he would have been facing with the
She was.
IRS, and that
Yeah,
wasn't what
he
we
never
was
he never
discussing.
caught wind of any type of you know,
Well,
things
that's
being
just
No, but
what
your
we assume.
your point still
But I
remains.
get, I get your point though. Yeah.
Yeah, the point still remains. Absolutely. The point still remains.
Because, like, for example, like if you look at a lot of these sports stars and these actors, and they have these people doing their taxes, and they're not you know, they're not vetting these people, and then, you know, they end up getting audited, and then, you know, they end up owing, you know, 3, 4, 6, 7, $8 million in taxes because it's somebody that they so-called trusted, and then like they end up in worse situations than they really are, and they like can barely afford to live in their house.
Right.
That's
That's
all
why
I'm
I
saying.
said. That's why I said earlier. It was a trust thing that you was describing, because
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to. Because it doesn't matter whether it's your family member. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter whether it's a professional. If you're not going to be trustworthy, you're not trustworthy, and that's what I think we're speaking to right now with the mother. She's just not trustworthy for whatever reasons we could discuss, and we could try and determine. You know, not us collectively, but once we
Right.
find that out, we can try and
Mhm.
determine that. But it really boils down to, why would she do that? Like, you could have asked me for the money. You could have did a lot of things. So there's so much deception. There's so many layers to that. That's why what our pain was saying, it's difficult to determine how to address it, because there's so many different layers to that deception, that manipulation.
This is exactly what I was talking about, Shawno. Like, no, she can't ask me for that. She can't ask me for that money. That, like, she's my mama, my G. Like, what are you doing out here in these streets? Even as a crack fiend mama, you always was a black queen mama.
One of my favorite
That's our
songs.
mentality.
One of
That's
mine
no matter
too.
what. Mama can do no wrong, and that shit is crazy work. Your mama's doing your taxes, my G. Like 3 a.m. said. Like, when do we transcend? Right. Especially when your money rise. If your mentality not rising with your money, how you gonna keep the money?
You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
How you gonna secure the money? How you gonna strategize with the money if your mentality? A man who find a wife find a good thing, huh, y'all?
Yes, sir.
She said, "Yo, what's up? What's up with this? Let me look at this." That's why I said I got a lawyer. I don't got just a wife. I got a high price lawyer. This girl will ask the pertinent questions. She gonna say, "Yo, what's going on with your taxes? Your mama do? We gonna get that. Let's get that away from her." That's what a wife does. And I know she had a husband too, but this is why we talk about the son husbands. Like, this is it's not a good thing, fellas. Stop letting your mama run your life.
Oh, that's my mama.
And what's so bad about it is these the people that's here to protect us. This is why the world looks the way it looks, because the people that's here, that's supposed to be here for us, they swindling us for $50. So now we go out into the world like everybody is about $50. I know what you about, bitch. It's like my mama. And I'm gonna land my plane with this. My mom died when I was 9 years old. I used to be sad about it. Now I'm like, she did me a favor. I'm not these niggas. I'm not no mama's boy. I'm not running to see what mommy think about Nikki. I don't need my mama to sit in the driver's seat instead of you. I just don't have certain problems because I don't have no mama. And maybe she was like, listen, let me go ahead and alleviate you from that, because we don't want you to be like these niggas.
You know, real quick though, he said, it's so funny because my mother passed away when I was 8. And like I talked about reflection, I would not be the same guy if she was still alive. If she lived, I would not be You know, nothing in my life right now would be the same. Nothing.
How would it be?
I don't know. You know, it could be better. It could be better. You know, it could have been better. Probably it could have been better, but I know guarantee it could have been worse. Right?
That's
I don't know how much better it would be, but I can guarantee you it could have been worse. You know, I mean, I don't like
I couldn't imagine like my mom dying, you know, when I'm 8, 9 years old. Like, I know when my mom passed in 2020, I was devastated. Like, you know,
I didn't mean to change the conversation on that, but still, yeah, it's a reflection.
No, I understand. Like, I'm just saying, like, my mom was a big part of my life. Like, you know, they say that, you know, your mom is your first best friend, you know, and that was true. And the way that I live my life, I tell Precious all the time, like, the values that I have is because of my parents. You know, it's because of my mom and my dad. You know, my dad passed when I was 20, and my mom passed in 2020. And so all of the values that I have is because of my parents. And the way that I think is because of my parents. Ain't no way my parents would be doing my taxes.
That's exactly why
hold up. But that's the first thing, you know, when the whole thing, I was like, hold up. My mom ain't even fill out my what was that when you what's that called when you go into college, you get your financial aid papers. My mom ain't fill out nothing. Once I was able to write, only thing she said was fill that shit out. If I gotta sign my name, I'll sign my name. And taxes, like my man said, that was something that, you know, I hate to put a time on it, but Gen Xers was doing their taxes when they was 14, 15 years old, making sure they go get their money. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes to a time where, you know, we overcompensate for our children. And then we got grown men still playing the child game because there's no way his mama should have been having access to his taxes.
Not when he was grown like that.
You know what I'm saying? You got a white Israel wait $500. And listen, like he said, the one thing I thought into this video, men did was kept up with their damn money. The fact that I don't know how much taxes I'm getting, and I'm looking at my tax sheet every time I get paid, like, damn, they taking out a lot. And I get $500, and I ain't bought a car, I ain't bought a house, I ain't really got no assets, but you're gonna get at least $1,000.
$100?
Come on, man.
They question it because that was mama.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem, because a mama who understood the duties of being a mama, she'd have told you come and get that shit. I'm not gonna do your taxes, boy. You're a grown ass man.
Mama manipulated him.
Yeah, but it wasn't him manipulating, wasn't it, Sean? It wasn't the man, was it?
Nope, it wasn't the man. That was the mama.
No, it's the mama now, huh? You blame the mama, but you won't blame the girlfriend.
I blame her too when it's appropriate.
Listen, when I turned 18, my mother and my father, they took me to H&R Block. And it was like, look, this is what you need to do every year before April 17th. And if you're late, you're going to get penalized. And don't be looking for me. Don't be looking for me for no help. You need people like that in your life to really break down, to train you to be an adult. Like, because kids don't know. Like, when you growing up, you know, yeah, it's kiki, ha ha before you turn 18. But like, once you turn 18, like, you really need to shift into another gear. Like, your mindset need to be like, okay, you know, I'm working. I need to, you know, taxes is a part of life. Yeah, ain't nothing you can escape. You know, I think every person who have kids need to, when their kids turn 18, they be like, okay, you know, we're going to take you to a tax preparer. We're going to take you to an accountant, whatever the case may be, right? And that's how you begin to extend into adulthood.
This is what I will say, man. Coach, I will say that I'm glad that I left home. Like I'm glad that I went to the Army right away. And the reason why I say that is because like my grandmother raised me mainly, so and I damn sure was a grandma's boy. You know what I mean? Like my grandma, like, cause I the first grandchild, the first and the last grandchild get the spoiled behavior. So
Right.
and then we were the two that you couldn't tell nothing, cause my grandma be like, "Hey, hold up, who you?" Nah, not John. That's what my grandma. So like I remember the first, yeah, right. The first time that I remember the first time that I voted, my grandma was like, "Come on, let's go." Took me to the voting station and was like, "We marked the right side of everything." You know what I'm saying? We
Just
vote
Democrat.
we vote
Under
blue
the
in my
Democratic,
house. Yeah.
under the Democratic manipulation. Go ahead, I guess.
She said we vote blue in my house. All right, you know what? I'm still in your house. You so right, Grandma. We vote blue. But it forced me to grow up. Like it forced me to grow up. You have no choice but to figure out how to manage your money, because as a private first class, how much money you getting every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
And right before the 15th come, if that 15th is on a Wednesday, I mean, now they got the early pay. They didn't have that back in the day. They didn't have that back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Your bank didn't give you that military pay 2 days before. So on the 13th, you was damn sure at what's that? The hot and ready piece of Little Caesars? You was right there because you had about $20 left in that account, and you had to get that $5 pizza that can last you a day and a half. Man, but the real life, man, the real life. No, but I'm saying the real life is that you had no choice but to grow up. Hey, they call you down. Hey, H&R Block is here. Liberty is here. Y'all need to go file y'all taxes. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. So you had to remember. So now you got a standard. Oh shit. I got to make sure my taxes filed before April 15th. And even then, you're looking at it like, damn, I couldn't imagine my mom Dukes or my grandma being like, taking all my money, knowing that 2 days before I'm struggling because I'm still at this private. I'm trying to get this promotion so I don't gotta struggle no more. You know what I'm saying? And the fact is that that your son is living paycheck to paycheck. It don't matter what you going through, mom's like, you can talk to me. But I can maybe there's something I can do. Maybe I'll even pay you for doing my taxes, right? Here's $250, moms. I just got $2,400. Here's $250. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you just took the money, and so it's not even just lying though. It's just there's lies, there's deception, there's deceit. There's you're stealing from, me.
Manipulation.
There's manipulation. Manipulation, not even manipulate. Listen, yeah, you just literally you're really that's just such a big form of betrayal. That don't mean that I'm gonna just be like, moms, F you, I'll never talk to you again, this and this and this and this. But just now I just know how to treat you. You know what I'm saying? Now I know where I need to keep you at. I like, moms, I love you, but I'm gonna have to love you from a distance for a little while.
Distance.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I love you dearly, but bro, you this is a lot. And especially and if I'm married or I'm getting ready to get married, you imagine the things that I could have done to provide for my getting ready to go into a marriage. I could have boosted myself up. Those are, you know what I'm saying? You know how many people be looking forward to those taxes, man?
Ooh, so you know what's interesting about that? I got a question, because Payne, you kind of answered it, but I'm gonna say it out loud. what do you do? Do you lock your mother up for that? Or I mean, I asked that only because if it was someone else, let's say it was your child, do you let them go? And you can bail them out or whatever the case may be, drop the charges, but
more money. I gotta give away more money.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question. I'm like, yo, what do you do in this circumstance? Like to actually get some resolve outside of just separating yourself.
You'd be blocked for a while.
Yeah, she did. Yes, I got to.
Okay, does the amount matter? You know what I'm saying? If it's $100,000, that's one thing. If it's $1,000, another thing. If it's somewhere, I mean, I guess there's a tolerance level there. You know, and that's for me. I'm only speaking for myself.
Yeah,
I mean,
$10,000.
Here's one more thing over there.
Thievery?
Huh?
I say you tolerating thievery?
10 racks.
It's not the money amount.
You got racks on racks.
Our pain is you know what it is? He's retired. Do you know he get to be at home and make
and he good with his
videos.
money.
He got 300. I think he got 300-something thousand on the stream that he
doing everybody's taxes. Yeah, you gonna get
so
that.
he's doing everybody's taxes. I mean, and he got fired from his daughter's taxes.
Only one child fired him.
But
He didn't say nothing about the other one.
My daughter fired me, but we set up her TurboTax on her computer so she could go ahead. So it was just a transition, and that woman. So I meant for her to take it over. I wasn't going to keep doing her taxes. We did it together on her computer so she could have all the files and all that kind of stuff. And she just took to it. I was just happy that she didn't need me no more. I slid her $100 bill and say, I laughed about it. I said, yeah. I said, would you fire me? She said, man, that was $100, Dad. I said, but she took it from then, and she's been working for like 10 years. She never came back to me for anything.
But $100 is different than 10 racks.
I mean, not that
Well,
you.
no, yeah, but
I
we-
love
we
that
do
whole
stuff.
concept.
And he
That's a
didn't
great
steal
story.
it either. He just messed up.
That's a great, great story.
He forgot to add the reminder.
Okay, what would you guys do to what would y'all do to your mother? What would y'all do to her? I mean, I've already said I don't know. I'm not saying definitively what I would do, but I don't think I'd be sending her to jail.
No, I wouldn't have sent her to jail unless it was a lot of money. Then moms, I'm sorry.
It's not the money amount to me. It's the principle.
You send her to civil court. That's what civil court
Yeah,
is.
civil court.
Maybe that something. It's just the principle of what was being done. It's like
That's it.
She ain't gotta go to jail.
You don't got to go to jail, but you
Civil court is
You
another
got to
thing.
be accountable, right?
Yeah.
She
Right.
you have to hold her accountable. This sounds like a single mom who probably raised this man on her own, and she thinks that she is entitled to any type of compensation that comes his way. And those are the women that are like the woman in the last video where it's like, you the op. And it's like, no, now you're the op to your child. Like, now you the op. Like, you so worried about this man who helped you bring this child into the world being the op that you turned into an op of your own child.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's like, what won't you do to me? You know, what's the line that you won't cross, Ma? Hello, I'm your son. You know, it's like, what wouldn't you do to me? So, you know, take her to civil court, get your money back. And then you and your wife live a life that's conducive to you guys. But the wife is going to be looking at your mom side-eyeing her. And then, of course, you are as well. Just because, you know, that's your mother don't mean she's not wrong.
No,
People who are wrong need to be held accountable. No, again, you don't have to send her to the slammer. But, you know, somebody have to hit a gravel and say, you're ordered to pay such and such $10,000, you know, and these court fees. You know, there has to be some type of accountability. And if that's how you wanted to get me, I'm going to have to get it back that way. That's how I'm going to have to. I know you can't even give me an explanation on why you did it. You can't even give me the copies of, you know, the returns. You have all these excuses. And now you think your son is mad at you. And for good reason. He should be mad at you, Mom. Like, what kind of mom do you you are.
When we
That
asked for the return, she was like, "I'll look into
But
it."
that doesn't guarantee that she's going to pay it back. That doesn't guarantee. It just goes. It guarantees that
but
you're going to
they're
have to
gonna
go through
withhold.
court and
There's
do all of
something.
that extra stuff.
Something's going to be withheld. There's going to be a judgment against her. There's something is going to be withheld to the point where, as time goes by and it does not get paid, they're going to start garnishing any wages. Does she work? Does she have any income? No matter what her situation is, it is wrong to steal from your children.
Yeah,
It's wrong to steal from anyone.
Agreed.
Now somebody did say that can she be held liable because he had to sign the return? How did he not know? And so that's my biggest.
Precious.
You didn't read them.
Precious. I would think that she signed his name. I would think that he signed his name because he would have saw.
Gave her permission to do her taxes, and so it don't matter. Like I could put anybody's bank account on my taxes to have it deposited into any bank account. You know what I mean? He gave her permission, and now that he's married, those responsibilities he has delegated to his wife. I saw comments like, "Well, he still got women doing his taxes. When he married, he could do what he want in his relationship. Get out that man marriage." Now, the mom doing his taxes up until he's a grown man, I think, at some point you're gonna have to take care of big man responsibilities, because then your wife can. I'm not saying that a wife is going to do it, but the wife can turn around and do something crazy too behind your back, and you just don't know because you're just not aware and you haven't educated yourself to know what you're owed, what they're keeping. How much it costs to get your taxes done. Like, he's not making himself aware of that knowledge. And when someone doesn't know something, they're the most vulnerable, especially when you put the responsibility in somebody else's hands to take care of it for you. So at least get the knowledge. Even if you're going to have your mom do it, cool, whatever. But at least have the knowledge to know that you should have been getting back more than $600.
Right.
And
again, it's not.
You got your pay stubs. You may not have the taxes, but you definitely have your pay stubs, and your W-2s are available to you through your job. So you should know, what the situation is.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking the question, because it's not about the relationship you have with the person. Because whether it's your mom or whether it's an accounting firm, which, as 3 a.m. said earlier, they deceived, they took away money, they misdirected money, because she did the taxes. What she did against him was rerouted the money into her account, which has happened in firms. It happens often, especially with athletes and people of that nature, when you entrust them into doing a job, but their idea and what they're doing is not that job. They have deceptive, manipulative mindsets. So it's not about who the person is. And that's why I'm like, I get that it's your mother, cool, but it ain't even about your mother. Because if your mother was qualified to do it, let's say she's an accountant, no harm, no foul. Nobody will be saying anything about her mother doing it.
Right. But the direct deposit should be coming from the state or whoever the services of the taxes came from. That's where the deposit would say. So my thing is, when you were giving your son this money, did it just come from your personal account?
She had to route that to her account.
That goes with the knowledge of knowing how taxes work. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, is his mom wrong for stealing from him? Of course. But you as a man need to know what's going on with your financials. You know what's going on with your portfolio and things of that nature, because even getting married and again delegating that responsibility to your wife, you should still it's most men who take care of the bills. Like when I grew up, my dad took care of the bills. Every Sunday he'd be writing them checks, he'd be sitting at that table, he might have some prayer, Bible study, then boom, the bills were getting paid. Did my mom know how to pay bills? Of course, she worked as well. But at the end of the day, I could never see him just, here, Shelly. Like I just could never see that happening. So for the mere fact that, but however, there are relationships where the woman is just, she has the knowledge, she has the education, she may be an accountant, she has that wisdom. So the responsibilities are delegated to her. And in a marriage, I understand that. But again, a man should still have some type of education and awareness
Absolutely.
surrounding all financials that happen within the family.
Absolutely.
Even if he's not the
Even
one,
if she's the knowledgeable one, you got to know where all those dollars are.
Right.
I mean, I understand that, and you're right. It's just I think that it boils back down to that word trust. And the reason why I keep emphasizing that word trust is because you ain't gonna be able to know everything. At some point in life, and I'm not just talking finances, you're gonna have to rely on somebody else's wisdom and insight that you don't have.
Sean, but the word says seek and find. So yes, you can rely on other people, but you as an individual needs to seek and find. Even if you still have somebody else do it for you or help you or guide you along the way, it's still your responsibility to seek and find.
Agreed. Now, but the point being is that once you find, you got to be able to understand how to discern whether you can trust what you found, because that's what it is. It wasn't about seeking and finding. It was about trusting his mother, and she was just not trustworthy. That's boiled down.
Right. But after a while, after how many years are you still continuing to have
I'm not dismissing his accountability. I'm not dismissing his accountability. He messed up. He should have been more aware of his finances. You know, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But she shouldn't have been stealing from him. I mean, you know, that we can't excuse or dismiss that the opportunity of being of a thief is going to be there in any circumstance. So you do have to be aware. You do have to kind of identify and recognize who's a thief and who's not. But it's kind of difficult. Like I said, it's kind of difficult when you don't know, but you ain't gonna know everything, and you ain't gonna learn everything through a bad experience. You shouldn't have to.
It'd be easier to sue H&R Block than it will be to sue his mama. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I hear you.
Because they are liable. Like when they mess up, when you find issues with your taxes, let me tell you, they will pay you that money instead of paying them fines. Because they will, anytime H&R Block or any of these facilities mess up with your taxes, they owe fines to the government because they are insured by the government to do your taxes to prepare them correctly.
Right.
And if they don't, you can sue them, and they are more than willing to give you the money to actually pay the government.
I hear you.
I agree with that. But I mean, these transactions are they're through transfers or wire, whatever, they're wiring the money. So it is easy to pinpoint, she would have to give up her financial institution and bank accounts and things of that. It's I don't think it would be that hard of a process to take his mom to court.
It's right there on the tax form where they sent the money to.
Right. Right. All they got to do is get into her accounts and see. Again, my thing is like, how was you sending your son the money? Like you gave him
she was cash out.
Cover up.
Yeah, she was cash out.
How were you sending it to him? Like
Zelle,
right?
Venmo,
coming from Mama Jones,
super chats and shit.
Western Union.
I guess I'm a little biased because as a youth, I had two accountants. One accountant that wasn't good and one accountant that was. And
what you mean
so
wasn't good, Sean? What you mean by that?
What?
That yeah. That and it happens to be the one that swindled me was a black firm, and the one who didn't was a Jewish firm. And so it threw my whole thought process off because I'm here trusting my brothers and they did me dirty. Similar to how the mother.
Were you one of them rappers who didn't know the business side, Sean?
I was 17. Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you were able to just say yes. Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Amy says I had a conniving mother-in-law once too. So somebody was like, "Girl, tell more." And she said one time she put a house into my husband's name without telling us to hide it for his brother. That is crazy. A whole house. His brother was going to prison, and so for some reason it couldn't be in his name. That's wild.
So somebody was going to prison and she put a house in his name while he was going to go to prison?
In her husband's name. That was the brother was going to prison, so she put the house in the brother's name because you can't have nothing in your name going to prison and you can't take care of it.
Diabolical.
That
was smart.
That's
smart.
There's got to be more to that story.
But you see our nature of man, we really love unconditionally, because those are conditions that's damn near slap your mama. She's stealing your 10 bands. We all running around here looking for some extra money. Your mama done stole your. Listen,
goodness
gracious. She was going to the casino.
Yes, and that goes to show how, again, because she was manipulating him all along, though.
Manipulation. Manipulation.
And she won't even take accountability, because I'll look into sending you the tax returns. I'll look into it. And she never did. She don't want to take no accountability.
Yeah, I'll get to it whenever I
can. And now here it is. It could be because the wife, she gonna be like, hold up, what about your mama? Don't talk about my mama. I loves it her.
And y'all seen on Friday she got smacked for making the food. They made the food so good. Make food so good, make you want to smack your mama.
His mother knew the gig was up as soon as the first inquiry came.
Yeah,
she got married.
Yeah.
Once the wife called, said, "Let me get them taxes." Oh shit!
Let me get this. Somebody moving into the territory. Mothers, single mothers, old mothers. They don't want. They want that money source for themselves. It's such a selfish thing. As soon as a woman come in and she's looking around and she's scoping the scene and getting more involved in her husband's, affairs. Now mom mad. Well, mom, what you do to your husband? Why I gotta pay? Because you and your husband couldn't figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not my responsibility. And I think that mothers right? They got the manip, and they make their sons feel like they have to take care of them when that's not their son's responsibility. If your son takes care of you and he, gives you a stipend or whatever every now and again, that you don't have to do that. That is not something that is owed to you. That, as a woman, we have to make better decisions in life. So we're not, finding ourselves trying to steal from people to pay our bills, to pay for our habits, to pay for our shopping. Like it's just not. It's not the responsibility of someone who's not.
There's gonna be a whole epidemic of that coming up.
Yeah, it's not the responsibility. You at some point you have to own your decisions and your decision making and where it has gotten you in life. And if you have to work, then that's just what you got to do. You know what I mean? You have to own your own life, but you can't try to take away from someone else's because you're not happy with your own. That's where that bitter old woman syndrome comes in. And then you become mean, and now you mad at everybody. You can't get the wife. You can't even hug the wife because she taking my money. No, child, that's not your money. That's not your money, mom. And people need to do a better job at being able to stand up to their parents, because you're an adult. You're not a child anymore. It said the Bible says children obey your parents. You're not a child anymore. You can honor your parents in a beautiful way. You can speak very gracious about them and things of that nature, but you're an adult. And so now you follow the rules and standards that God has for you in your adult years, not still in your child years. Okay. And if your parents are still using that verse against you, tell them they wrong. Okay. You got to be able to put your big draws, boxers, panties, whatever y'all wear, and stand up for yourself, be an advocate for yourself. Because if not, family members, especially those closest to you, will find ways in to the point where you feel like you can't kick them out no more. You can't get to that point because now you have a household and probably a family that you're about to start with your wife, where those financials need to be delegated to, for your own household. So that video, I wanted to share that because while mom is wrong, the husband has to. You guys are right. Like, you could say what you would do, but that's mom. At the end of the day, mom the dad, sister, brother, you have to be able to advocate for yourself when someone is doing an injustice towards you. And I think a lot of people do not want to do that because family is involved. And that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case of keeping you scared and fearful and still in childlike state because you can't be honest with your parents. And if it causes friction, it causes friction. Period. We're adults. We go through life and everything is not going to be rainbows, sunshines, and lollipops. Like, it's just not. You have to treat people, you have to teach people how to treat you. You really do. And when you don't do that, people going to walk all over you. Whether you allow it or see it or whatever the case may be, it's going to happen. And then you're going to wonder why, you're not feeling joyful and happy around these people because you allow them to take advantage of you. You allow them to get over on you. People need to know they can't play with you. Period. People need to know that whether you're a man or a woman, you're not about to come play over here. That's where the playground. Go to the playground for the play. Okay. Well, guys.
Okay. Another good one.
Thank you. We will be back next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, I appreciate you guys for joining. Those who are in the comments and who have been engaging in this live, whether you were here at the beginning, you're still here, you popped in for a little bit, you part of the replay gang. I see you. Thank you. I appreciate you. You don't have to be over here on this platform, but you choose to be. And so I am very grateful for you guys. If you find it in your hearts that you want to donate to the platform, the Cash App is flowing on the bottom. And it also is in the description of the video because we're about to get up out of here. This is the Real Precious Network. Y'all know what I say. Keep it real with yourself so you can keep it real with everyone else. You guys have a great evening. See you next week.
Yep. Take it easy.